Hi, my little mathematicians. I wanted to share this video about different ways to write and say numbers, just regular numbers. Now, you may have already learned this in school. You may not have. Either way, we are going to go over it right now. Now, as you may already know, I try to keep these videos under 10 minutes. That's because I know that it's hard to pay attention for more than that. So I may talk a little bit fast, and if I do, don't worry. We are going to go over everything in class anyways. This is just a helpful refresher. Okay, so sometimes teachers will talk about standard form numbers. Now, standard form just means writing numbers like the common way, 36, 6, 100 and 150, 279, 1. That's standard form, writing the number rather than spelling it out like we do there. Let's move on to the word form of the number. The word form is just spelling it out using letters. So in this case, we have the number 218. Now, at your grade and age, you are just beginning to form stronger literacy or reading skills. So the word form, some kids, they are challenged by this a little bit, and that's okay. But it's still important that we learn it. Sometimes we see numbers in any one of these forms, so it's important that we understand them. So again, our number here, 218, is just, it's spelled out 200. 18. And of course, 18 has this very interesting spelling, the GH, the silent GH. All right, so we now know the word form, I hope, and hope that made sense. And now comes the form that I think kids and grown-ups have the hardest time with. It is the expanded form. When we say expanded form, what we're really saying is that we break everything down we break the number down by place value using base 10. So, in this case, we have 218. We're going to look at the place value of these numbers. We have 8 in the ones place, 1 in the tens place, and 2 in the hundreds place. So what that means is the 2 in the hundreds place, what we're going to do to it is just make the rest, so there are 2 more places in the number, because it's a 3-digit number, this becomes 200. Because really, in the number 218, we are dealing with 2 groups of 100. And then we're also dealing with, go to the tens place here, we're dealing with 1 group of 10. And then we're going to go to the 8 in the 218 in the ones place, which is 8. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add them all together. 200 plus 10 plus 8. And that comes out to 218. So that's what the expanded form is. Now, you are probably going to spend a lot of time at school on this expanded form. And at times you might wonder, why do I need to know the number in expanded form? And here's what I can tell you. It's actually quite important. And over time, you'll see why. It's because when you start doing more advanced math, everything from fractions and decimals and even geometry, all these things that you're gonna do in math later, it really helps to know the expanded form. And again, if you're not able to follow all of this right now, that is okay. We are going to go over it again and again and again in class. So let's try a random number. What number comes to my head? 352 just randomly came to my head. 352, we've got it in the standard form. Now I'm going to write it in the expanded form. Okay, the expanded form, let's look at, we've got a 3-digit number. We've got ones, tens, hundreds. We'll start with the hundreds place. That's going to be 300. Then we'll go to the tens place. That's going to be 50. And then we'll go to the ones place, and that's going to be 2. And then if we're going to put it in the word form, we just sound it out. These might be new words in our spelling lists. 352. All right. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you all is that some people, like I, for instance, when I write 352 in expanded form, I usually start with the hundreds place and I do, 300 plus 50 plus 2. I do it that way. But some people like to start from the ones place. So they'll say, okay, we've got 2 ones plus, oh, I shouldn't have done that in yellow, should I have? Let's say I have 2 ones. Then they'll say I have 5 tens, 5 tens, and then they'll say, okay, now I have 3 hundreds. And they'll do it that way. Some people like to do it that way also because what they do in their heads is any number. So actually, let me erase all this. So some people like to do it that way also because, like, let's say you have the number 352. They'll start with the 2, and then they'll say, okay, let's go to the next number and make everything to the right of that number 0, and that'll give me the tens place. So I've got 50, and then they're going to move one over to the left, and they'll make this one a 0, and then they'll make this 300. So that can help with a visual way of writing things in expanded form. And eventually what happens is you practice so much that you're not even going to be thinking about it one day. It'll just come out naturally. Now, what if we have a number like this, 140? Well, in the word form, I'll start with the word form this time, 140. In the expanded form, let's go to our little rule here. Let me do a different color here, 140. Now, should we go left to right or right to left? I'll go right to left. So that means I'll start with the 0. So I've got 0 in the ones place plus, now this is already 0 when I look at the tens. So I've got plus 40, then go to the next number over, make this a 0, and now I've got plus 100. And now we've got 140 this way. Now, in the expanded form, you don't even need to really pay attention to that. Excuse me. You can if you want to, but you don't need to. So, you can do, sorry guys, I've got this terrible cough. 100 plus 40. And then we have the plus 0 here referring to that. You don't actually need it, but you can put it in if you find it helpful. I actually do find it helpful sometimes. And that's it, guys. I'm going to be making a few more videos. In our next class, we're going to do some worksheets and activities related to standard form, expanded form, and word form. I can't wait to see you all. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and see you soon.